YouTubes. I think we're live.
How do we know?
I don't know. I think we'll get told via people in the chat, maybe.
We don't know if we're live or not. Should I check?
Well, I've just checked we're on there because I'm going to share the post again.
Oh, well, hello then. Here we are. This was quite an experience for us trying to figure out how to do it live, but we're here. We made it. Welcome to the last chat of the year. It says there's 3. Oh, there people are here. Look, we did it. Hi, Jay and Mike and 2 Aussie thrifters. I'm proud of us. Look at us go.
Just took us a few minutes.
Sam? I haven't seen you in like weeks now. When was the last one we did? 2 weeks ago.
3, I think.
3.
I know, lots has happened.
Are we calling the winner today or no?
It's not the end of the year yet. We've still got like 21 days, haven't we? Yeah.
I don't feel like anything's going to change between now and the 1st, but that's fine. We can wait.
Well, we need to get Tom involved somehow.
I somehow feel like he might try to dodge that.
I know.
I'm not sure he's as confident as he was at the start, but we will. We'll get into it. I am full transparency. I'm not going to hit my 300k. I'm going to miss it by about 20k. My November, December took a bigger hit than I thought it did or would. Yeah. And I've been hearing from other people that they're experiencing the same. That like November, December just hasn't lived up. And I usually don't have a Q4. Like a Q4 rush isn't my thing in car parts. But it's been even slower than it's the usual slow. Yeah.
I do feel you. I've had really good sales the last couple of weeks. But today is just completely died. Like I've been averaging like 1,300 a day and today's like 500. So it's really low.
I know. I'm averaging like 1,000, 1,200. And I think the day before yesterday, I did like 350.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know what's happening. So I think it's just, it is what it is. I'm going to also be very honest and say that there's a lot more I could have done. Like theoretically, I should have hit 350 at least. But complacency and life. And I've also spent the second half of the year being very distracted.
Yeah, like, I think to buy a house.
But that, and also things I could have avoided. I spent too much time on things that didn't progress my business necessarily. And I think that was a big, because it went so well in the first half of the year, that I kind of became a bit complacent. And then when things started to go down the way, I didn't push as hard as I had to, or knew I should have, because I was busy with other things. So it's my fault. I know how to change it. I know how to fix it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I want to hit 450k next year.
Oof. That's
which
a big
is a 200, just under 200 increase from this year.
That's quite impressive. So where will you land roughly this year? Like 280?
Yeah, I'll be like between 275 and 280. It depends now on how these last like 2 weeks go. But yeah, I'm going to be somewhere there.
That's nearly doing 100% again.
It is, Sam. It is.
That's quite a hard thing to do as you keep leveling up.
Well, going from, what did I do last year? 150?
No,
I think I did 150 last year. Going from 150 to 250, I think is a lot easier than going from 270 to 450. Because you're more established in your business and your numbers are higher. Like you growing 100% is a lot harder than me growing 100%.
Yeah. I found that this year it was like I will just fall short of adding 100,000 to the top line on eBay. Like I'll fall in at about $350 to $360,000 worth of gross sales. But like that adds up to 30%. That's not a tremendous amount, even though I've added nearly 100,000 on top. So when you try and increase in such large volumes, you don't realize how little it moves the needle in terms of the percentage.
Yeah. But the numbers get bigger.
Yeah.
My aim is to be somewhere where I add 200,000 to my total and it's like a 5% increase. How great must that be? Like, you know?
Just to interrupt you, Cindy in the chat has asked, is that in pounds?
It is pounds, yes.
For you, obviously. Yeah.
British pounds. I think pound sterling is Scotland. I might be wrong, but yes, it is. So, what was I going to say? So how's everyone else's year going? Let us know. Did you hit your goals? Do you want to hit goals? Did you have goals? Many people just wanted to kind of figure out the processes, which I think is such a valuable thing to do. To take a year and just say, I actually just need to figure out, build the machine, is the only reason why I was able to grow, because I took time out to actually build the process and the machine and figure out how everything's going to work before you just start dumping everything in there and everything breaks. We also had a lot of changes on eBay in the UK. Okay.
Do you find that as you grow and you get stabilized in the next kind of like level up, you just get comfortable?
Yes, I do like being comfortable. Yeah. I enjoy being comfortable. That's my biggest problem, is comfort. And then I do really hard things, and then after a while, they're not hard anymore. And then you tap yourself on the back and you're like, ooh, I'm doing hard things, but it's not hard. Instead of going, now I need to do harder things. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't hit my goal, is I spend too much time in that bit of it. As in, the hard things were no longer hard and I was just cruising. And I shouldn't have. I should have kept making sure it's hard. Hard as in you're being pushed, not hard as in make your life hard, but hard as in constantly growing and learning and,
developing.
Yeah.
We've got some answers for you in the side chat. So Stylus has said this financial year is looking to be their best in 18 years, which is huge.
Yes.
Like, congratulations.
That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah. And Kathy has said that her goal for the year is to figure out the eBay process and growing quicker than expected. Figured out, rather. It's past tense.
See, honestly, once you get the basics down of eBay, right? And once you get the processes sorted, growing the business literally only then depends on the amount of effort you want to put in. And that's where I slacked, because there were times where I should have put more effort in and I didn't. Because once the processes work and the businesses work and everything's set up, then literally you're the only moving cog. You're the one that puts it all into motion. And the more you put it into motion, the more money you're going to make. The less you're going to put it into motion, the less money you make.
Yeah. I find that once I get comfortable, I just don't follow a routine. And then associated with the routine is I just don't tend to put my best foot forward.
Yeah. Do you source online? Mike's asking, is it hard to source online? No. I do source a bit online.
I think that's you, Hanley.
Oh, me. I do source a bit online, but I don't actually buy the products online. I get a lot of my leads online. I get a lot of my connections online, as in people will be advertising things or contact information for dealerships. I don't actually buy online in that sense. I think it would be very hard to buy online in that sense, because how could someone online really show everything that's in a massive job lot to car parts? So oftentimes we'll see things advertised, we'll contact them and we'll go look at it.
I'm going to try and bring a comment up on the screen. Let's see if this works. Oh, look at that. Magic, Hanley.
We're
So do you consider hard putting more hours in or being more effective in the time you are spending?
Both. So you can, in the beginning, it's putting more time in because you're not as maybe experienced. And then as you do that, you'll naturally find that you become more productive. And And the issue is I became a lot more productive and I had a lot more time and I didn't reutilize that time for the business.
That's fair.
What about you?
I found for myself that I went harder on the sourcing, and finding more avenues to get better quality stock has been really, really helpful. But it also means that I've had to become more efficient in the processes because I'm spending less time actually doing the processing and the listing of the products. So I'm constantly trying to find ways to be more efficient. And that'll be the goal for 2025 so that I can list more better quality items.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a point where spending more time trying to be efficient becomes less efficient than just working more?
Oh, I think so. I think you can get into a really slippery slope of just trying to get the seconds out of everything rather than just doing it. Because I think over time you just naturally get faster at doing things anyway.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. I think there's a point in which we sometimes become too almost pedantic about process and efficiency, and where you could actually just go do the work and then, that's where the money is. So if most of my efficiency or changes I make to my business comes from doing the work and then realizing something's wrong here, I need to sort it out. And while you're doing the work, you're able to find ways to be more efficient. A lot of the times when I just sit down and I go, oh, I need to make that better, then I really struggle to actually figure out how to make it better. Like I need to be in the process to do it. But sitting there for hours trying to find ways to be more efficient, it is very beneficial for your business. Just don't get caught up in that. Like there's a lot of people who spend all of their time trying to figure out how to avoid doing the work and getting the same results. That doesn't work.
I totally agree. Yeah. While we're on that, I'm going to bring another one up. This is two Aussie thrifters. They spent the year of recovery and re-establishing. So, Hannah, you probably don't know, but they essentially had to deconstruct and reconstruct their massive operation within the last 12 months due to some business partners exiting the business.
Yes.
So they had this like massive overhead and stuff like that, and they've managed to pivot, having had half the owners leave, and are on track to be able to still manage what they need to. Like, that's amazing.
I really enjoy their YouTube. It's one of the people I watch on YouTube. I found them like really relatable, and I like that they show all aspects of the things. Like I don't feel like it's just they take you through everything, which is I enjoy seeing like people, the good, the bad, the difficult, the easy, the funny, the like. It's more real. Like it makes me feel more real about my business as well.
Because it's transparent. They're not trying to hide behind something that's fake to make themselves look better.
But
all right, we've got another question, Hannah. Are you ready? I'm going to bring it up.
Oh, is it a good one? Is it a good one?
Yeah, they're all good questions. Are you looking at bringing more avenues outside of eBay into your business plan?
I love that name, the Ponderous Pufferfish. That is such a good name. Do they have a YouTube channel? I would watch the YouTube channel just for that name. I'm going to go find out. I love that name. Yes, the plan is
if they to start... they need one.
They do. That is a brilliant name, by the way. Are you planning to bring any other sources into your business? I know you have a big goal for next year.
So I'm in the process of redoing my secondary Instagram to have a website associated so that I can have swing tags at the market. So there'll be SKUs on the market stock that I can then run through the payment system and take offline in the event that they sell at the market. The festival has cancelled for next year already, the one that I've been doing, but there is opportunities interstate for that. So we've already applied for one interstate in June, so we'll be adding in traveling festivals, so that'll be interesting. What about you?
I've secretly in the background launched our website this year, and we have had some direct sales of that. My biggest goal of launching the website was more for some of the bigger sourcing opportunities in markets to get in. They don't just want eBay traders, they want established brands. So this year, behind the scenes, I've been working really hard on that. and we've unlocked some opportunities for other types of sourcing. We definitely want to get a bit more into the wholesale as well. The plan is for my husband to come join the business next year still. And that would really mean that we'll be able to branch out the business. So more from just having just an eBay business, we'll be able to more build the brand, build the other side of the business, and hopefully be able to get into the next level of sourcing.
I love that. Yeah. I'm just going to bring someone's comment up on screen because this is like goals, man. His goal was $2 million. Woo! And it will end at 1.8. Yes. Like, let's go. That is some skill right there. Oh my goodness.
That's incredible. Like, honestly, well done you. And do you know what I love about that? He's like, looking back, I could have done it better. Like, he's open enough to look at himself and go, yes, I'm doing great, but I can still improve here and there. And I love people like that. I love people whose brains never stop going.
But also are accountable. Like, that's not externalizing the fact that it's like a poor market or it's a recession or anything like that. Like, it's being accountable to yourself. All right. We've got another one. You ready, Hanley? This is from Liz. Do you think you've hit your maximum efficiency as sole workers?
Is that Liz from the group?
What do you reckon? Yeah, that's Liz from the group.
I love Liz. No, I've not. If I'm honest with myself, my max capacity on my own would be 60 a day. And I'm not near that. So, no, I should have been, but I'm not. What about you?
That's fair. I think my max capacity is 120 a day, but rather than outsourcing to people, I would need to reduce the laundry time by getting some dryers in. So like I don't have to then spend 20 minutes hanging out each load and bringing the other load in. I can just whack it in the dryer, which will save time. So that's something I'm looking at doing for the new calendar year. This one's for you, Hanley. I really enjoy this comment. Broadcasting from the International Space Station.
My warehouse does look a bit like a space station, to be honest with you. There's just parts of we don't even know what they're parts of anymore. But yeah, that's Jay. I really like Jay too. Do you think that, Sam?
I find that funny.
You gave it your best effort this year?
No, midway through the year, I definitely dropped the ball with the death in the family and stuff like that, and it took me a few months to fully like get back on board. And like I should have been more prepared, I guess. Like life's fleeting and everything else, but I should be more prepared for any sort of outcome to that situation rather than running around and chasing my tail, I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah. So there's always lessons learned. You should always have a good, solid draft bank.
Sometimes, I don't know, life has really kicked my ass this year. Like, life really just came in and said no to every plan I had. And, like, I had such great plans. And then life was like, well, actually, we're not doing that. We're doing something else. And hopefully all the big expenses are out the way now. Like, touch wood, touch something, I don't know. But it would be nice to just have a year where the sky isn't falling every 2 months.
Oh man, I would love that. If next year could just like be smooth sailing, that'd be so wonderful. Like no dramatic hiccups.
I don't know.
I'm meant to go away for Christmas, but I actually can't board the plane because I don't have a valid driver's license. Now, I haven't lost my license. It expired and I've paid, and it is a 2 to 3 month wait to actually get them to print it because everyone vacated the state, so I don't actually have the card. And it's 1,200 kilometers to drive in to get them to print it in person. So I'm just like, here.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's so stupid.
I don't
It'd be just nice if things just went smoothly.
Yeah. I I don't know if smooth is an option for people with kids, though. I don't feel like it is. I feel like you kind of opt out of smooth ride when you have children.
No.
Like, you tick the box and you're like, I like problems. I like drama. I like to be really busy all the time. Yes, I want to have kids.
You also invite sickness into your house all the time.
All the time. I've had all the diseases. All of them. And then you get them again. I feel like once you have a disease, it should be ticked off on your life card. And that's you. You've had the disease and you can only get ones you haven't had before.
While we're kind of on that, one question I have for you from the kind of year wrap, we'll do like a Spotify year wrap, is did you ever work out what happened to flight MH370 or whatever it is? The people want to know.
I do know what happened to it, but my husband has also told me not to say these kind of things in public because people are going to think I'm crazy. And I understand how it sounds crazy, but I do know what happened to the aeroplane. But I just don't feel like the world is ready to receive the information. But there is like, there's a... I'm trying to... How do you make it sound less crazy?
I'm here for it. I don't know, I'm here for it though.
The plane was moved. That's all I'm going to say. The plane was moved to a secure location.
By the ocean?
No, but to the ocean. Anyway.
I've got an actual question. I'm going to bring you back on track. It's from the pufferfish again for you. What? Wrong person. Hang on. Let me bring that down. We'll come back to that one.
I like Wanda too. As much as I admire Sam, I really loathe clothing selling. Same. How do you find that car parts is more streamlined business? Or is there too many variables in the stock? Okay, so the issue you have with car parts is where with clothing, you can sell similar off of a t-shirt or you're able to build more templates. Car parts doesn't work that way because one set of brake pads isn't the same as another set of brake pads. It's very individualized. Parts are for specific cars. So I create every single listing from scratch. I have templates for like my descriptions and those type of things. But I do treat every single item as its own item. It gets own photos, own listing from scratch, own everything else. And I know that a lot of people save a lot of time selling clothing because you're able to sell similar and those type of things. That doesn't necessarily work in car parts. I know in used parts, they do that quite a lot because they're able to pick up the same type of item all the time, where I don't handpick my items. For instance, I'll buy out a whole lot. The chances of me in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, finding the same part in 2 different lots are not... It's not the same as you finding Levi jeans everywhere you go. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that common.
Yeah, but even when I find Levi jeans, I still make up a new listing.
Yeah, but
I don't do variables for anything, Hamley.
I swear that's the best way to do it. I know that people say it saves time to do it the other way, but I just treat every single item like its own item. And it's faster. You get into the rhythm of doing it. So I do have a lot of multi-quantities because they're new parts. So I get multi-quantities, which are really nice. Those are quite easy to list. But I don't treat multi-quantities as multiple listings. If I have 30 of one item, that's still one listing for the day. Like, I don't count that as my 30. So, I guess there are a lot more variables.
I what you mean.
Yeah.
For a little while there this year, was like, I'm going to go into car parts. Like, it just, you make it sound so glamorous. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, it's so glamorous. Honestly, I'm living my best life in the International Space Station here. I'm constantly bruised and battered. I'm like, I'm living my best life, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Spotify Wrap should include your like injuries for the year.
Oh, I've had so many. This year I've been concussed. I've torn the cartilage in my knee, and then it got stuck in my knee and I couldn't bend my knee.
We've got to explain how these happened, Hanley. So the car door fell on your head.
It wasn't a car door. It was a car door reinforcement panel.
Whatever.
It's not the same thing as a whole door. But yes. Then I tripped over. What did I fall over? What did I fall over when I hurt my knee? I can't even remember. There was something on the... It wasn't even on the ground. Like, it was out of the way. Somehow my feet just found it. And I tripped over, and that's when I tore the cartilage in my knee. And then it got stuck in between the joint, and I couldn't move my knee. Because it was like, my leg was literally stuck straight. And then that was fun. And what else? What else have I done?
I can't remember. One more, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, you burnt yourself.
Oh, I have burnt myself. It's all peeling now, though, so you can't really. But it's quite hectic. I had a water bottle erupt. A hot water bottle erupt all over my hand. And then, the type of person I am, I just kept holding it and watching it happen. And then when it was finished, I was like, oh. And then I tucked it. I was like, I just stood there and like watched it go. And so it's a dangerous business, car parts.
And the most amazing thing about that is you still got your listings done.
I did all the time. My listings are important. My husband has bought me PPE, like protective clothing. I've got boots. I've even got a hat. I've got everything I need here. Oh, do you know what the other thing was that happened? I dropped that radiator on my hand, didn't I? And then I fractured the bone in my hand.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was a while ago.
That was the other one.
That was a while ago.
Health and safety doesn't listen to this.
All right, let's keep pushing. We're going to go back to Wanda.
Yes.
So Wanda wants to know how we met.
Oh.
And shout out to Wanda for being new to reselling.
We met online. We're one of those rare online
she slid into my DMs.
I did. Sam was posting her numbers, not her numbers, like how much she's selling, how much she's listing, how much all of that and that. And I was really inspired by Sam. And I thought I need to get into this person's world, because at the time I didn't know anyone else that was doing it, but being open about it and talking about it. And so I think I messaged you first. I'm pretty sure I did. And then...
Oh, you did. Definitely.
And then she's just never been able to get rid of me since.
I'm pretty sure your first message was that you were calling me out.
Was I?
You didn't even drop in and were like, hi. You were just I'm calling you out.
I think I said hi. How far do you have to scroll to get to the top of Instagram messages?
About 10 months worth of messages you'd have to scroll through.
Is there a way to get to the top?
It's like a commitment longer than live. You're asking the wrong one. I'm going to bring up another one. We've got two Aussie thrifters would like to know how your whale sounds are going.
Not very well. So I'm not sure what whale sounds these people were referring to, but the ones me and Sam found does not sound calming at all. In fact, it's either a desperate cry for help or they're having some kind of intimate interaction. It's got to be one of those two options, because those whales do not sound calming to me at all. But maybe we just have the wrong type of whale. I don't know. I did try it though.
All right. So Nigel has asked, how's the sourcing going, Sam? We've had some great finds recently. So today I was out in the sun for I want to say 6 hours, 7 hours. I don't know if you can see, the lighting's probably not good, but I'm pretty sunburnt on my arm from just being out in the sun sorting donations. So it's burnt on just the upper arm panel, which is funny. But I got some heaters, which is really nice. So this new way of sourcing has really opened up my business to be something there's never been before. I've really been blessed. And as much as when the day drags on and I get really hot and I get really bothered, I get really annoyed and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I then come home and I'm like, oh, I'm really privileged to have this experience. Like, this is the best opportunity for me with my current location, my current availability, etc. Hanley is, I don't know if it's Cindy or Nigel, has also said, who cares if people think you're crazy?
They already think I'm crazy, but they just think I'm a bit delusional crazy. Like, I don't want to be institutionalized crazy. You know, there's a fine line. You got to stay out of the institution. Got to unleash the crazy, like little bits at a time.
Well, I don't know. I could commit you. We could do that. That'd be fun.
That would make a great YouTube video.
All right, here's another one. Would you think that the return on investment for your time or sourcing would be higher if you streamline your business to certain makes and manufacturers, Hanley?
It probably would. However, that would be really hard to source. I do live in a very, very tiny island country, and I don't have that privilege to say I'm only going to sell forward parts because then I can sell similar and I'll streamline the business. The truth of the matter is my business would then be very capped. And I'm not open to that. I'm willing to make more effort to be able to source all different kinds. It's the same as saying, like, are you willing to streamline your business into only jeans? Now, there are a lot of people who do that, but those people are all in big countries like the USA. That won't work, specifically somewhere where we are. Like, Australia has less people than the UK, but we have a similar amount of people. Like, the sourcing opportunities and the stock that comes available is just not enough to really choose one lane for me. My business would be so capped, and I don't want to be capped. I want to go as far as I can.
I would never streamline into just one category. Like, if you streamline into jeans, when summer hits, you're just cutting yourself off at the knees. Like, what happens if Ford all of a sudden can't manufacture cars for a year? Like, you're just cutting yourself off from the ability to be able to source more parts for their newest models. Like, it all went kind of crazy during COVID when that was not able to occur.
Mm-hmm. I think the best opportunity is the one that you have. Instead of, there's a lot of opportunities that are easier. There's a lot of things I could be doing that's easier. I just don't have those opportunities. I could flip one jet a year and make the same amount of money. I don't have access to jets or people who want to buy them. I have to make the best of the opportunities I have.
Why not?
I know, right? I need better friends. How come you don't have a jet? Yeah.
There's actually a whole bunch parked out at our airport.
Oh, you should go get them. I think it's important that even though there's a lot of good opportunities out there, we make the best of the ones that we actually have.
All right. We've got some more. I've just lost the chat. I've got to go all the way back down. Where are we? Here you go. This is the one I want to pull up.
I'm fine.
Chick is sending you some love.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Whereas you need to send me the life insurance policy. I'll be the sole beneficiary. Don't worry about kids.
I do have a few of those, so if anything does happen to me, that is a motive. I'm just saying.
I love that. All right. I keep losing the chat. It just keeps jumping for me.
Do you want
Gay
me to do
has
it?
said, it's a privilege that I source the way that I can. It is. Like, I'm lucky to have the backdoor access. I am signed up as a volunteer to be able to do that. But honestly, it is not what you think it is. Like, I sourced through 3 full, large, big donation bins today and took 7 IKEA bags worth. Like, I cannot tell you the garbage that I literally sorted past to be able to get that. Like, it is not a nice experience. Like, I've had to go past mold, like constant mold exposure is not good for the body. I've had to go past human excrement today just to be able to get the stuff that I got. Like, it's not nice. So as much as it's privileged, it's not the most beautiful thing that I've ever had to do in my life. What else we got?
I don't know if it's me that's gone or if it's her.
Jaffa, Cindy is saying that that's the special part of you, Hanley.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh,
I didn't know you cut out.
Oh, well, that's fine then if no one noticed. That's great. Oh, there we go. It was just me.
Normally the screen tells me.
Oh, thanks.
So
is that
Nigel?
Is that Nigel?
I don't know if it's Nigel or Cindy. I'm not sure.
We love them.
We'll
both.
have to get some clarification from them in the chat.
Nigel's not usually that nice to me, so I think it's Cindy. He's usually just yelling at me because there's no episode, and somehow it's my fault.
That's exactly what he does to me. It's not just you. I like analyzing business models as well. Like, business models and like building businesses is something that I have become very passionate about. If you had have asked me when I was nursing if I would be interested in that at all, I wouldn't have said so next year. Like, it's very interesting. All right. Someone, find and flip. How often do you do that, Sam? Normally 2 times a week. This week it'll be 3 times this week, just because the CEO is coming down and I'm going to the Op Shop's Christmas party tomorrow, which is not something I ever thought I'd also be doing. But I needed to get the bins empty so that the CEO doesn't see that it's a complete disaster when he comes down. And Cindy has clarified, no, that was Cindy.
I knew it. So what's the...
Well, I have you.
Yeah.
You go.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, since we're doing a bit of a wrap up, I wanted to know what your most proudest thing that you did this year was.
The most proudest thing I did this year?
Yeah, like a business high.
My business gave me the opportunity to buy a house on short notice. Honestly, that
amazing.
was the first time my business really stepped up to the plate. And that was also the moment in which it really changed for me, from being like a little small business I'm working on to, well, actually, this is a proper full-grown business that has made a significant change in our lives. And the fact that I was able to turn it on and push so hard, and it was able to produce the money that we needed to buy a house, is pretty incredible. And at the time it was hard and I didn't like it because I had to spend the money and I didn't feel like buying a house is really that great. Like, looking back on it now, I'm incredibly proud that when my family needed me and needed the money in the business, that my business was able to do that.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be your answer, and I think that that's something that everyone needs to aspire to, where you're not just running paycheck to paycheck. Like, if you need to be able to withdraw a huge chunk of money to be able to buy a house, like, you were profitable from the get-go to be able to do that, and that's huge.
What about you?
I think being able to tap into and being open to receiving more opportunities within the business in terms of like accessing stock and stuff like that. Like for about 3 years, I kind of just went underground and was like very like narrow tunnel vision and kind of shut everyone out of what I was doing while I was trying to build. And then when you slid into my DMs and we ended up here, I came out, I guess, of my shell a lot more. And through that, I've been able to network a lot more and be able to have access to a lot more opportunities for the business. And I'm proud of being able to accept that and receive that, because normally that's not something I would do.
You can just say that I'm the best thing that happened to you. Like, you don't have to put all those words together. You can just come out and say it. Like, Hanley sliding into my DMs was the best thing that ever happened to me. She's pushed me in my business really hard. She's such a great person. She's my best friend. She honestly changed my life for the better. Because I know that's how you feel.
You're like an annoying little sister, and you are a little bit younger, but we're basically we're basically the same.
One that you love dearly.
I do appreciate you. We've got to move on so we don't get all sentimental in the last like 15 minutes. Kathy would like to know if we've always going to be business owners. You can go first on this one.
When you were younger, did you see yourselves being business owners? Definitely not. Like, immediately not. I always saw myself as a follower. And that's very, no, I genuinely was. I worked in corporate. I was a personal assistant and I was a follower. My existence was to make someone else's life easier, to be able to do my job, do what they need, be one step ahead to make sure their day ran smoothly. And that was my job. And I excelled at it and I did it really well. And I honestly believed in the world, there's leaders and there's followers, and I am a great follower. So why would I want to go do something else? And it's only out of necessity that I had to create my own path. And I realized that I am actually not a follower. I'm actually a really bad follower, if you ask my husband.
I can agree with that.
I'm actually really bad at it.
Yeah. So for me, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I was leaving school. Like, I was just getting through school to survive. And then everyone else in my year was choosing nursing. So I was like, oh, I'll just go do that. That sounds fun. It's not fun. And then I kind of moved through the ranks when I moved out here easily just by term of staying, because no one ever stays here. So I was in positions I shouldn't have been. And then I wasn't liking what my boss was doing at the time. And he left and he said, if you're not willing to put your hat in the ring and do the job, then you cannot critique the person doing the job, because you're not willing to stand up to take the criticism yourself. And that was like a massive light bulb for me. And I ended up leaving thereafter because I was like, well, I won't put my hat out in the ring with you guys, but I will take a chance on myself. And a lot of my family members have built businesses. So I think I was always kind of destined to do it, but I guess I was a little bit lost and skewed on the path. So I found my way to what I guess I probably should have been doing all along, whether that's in eBay or not. I've got one for you, Hanley.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hanley's gone again. Oh, no, she's still here.
Car parts new. No, all my car parts are new. They're all new. I do occasionally sell some of my husband's used parts. When I started out, they were used parts, but they're all new now. I prefer new. They're boxed, they're clean. I take my photos, they go on myself. I just personally use parts. Is not something I want to deal with. But used parts is eBay's biggest category. So there's a lot of money in it.
In the UK, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everyone knows, we have a hard 1 hour cutoff. So we've got 15 minutes to get your questions in for any more that you might have. All right. I just wanted to say thank you to Jazz. That's very kind of her. And Jazz, rah. You won't get that. She thought her partner was coming in the door and jumped out and went rah to a delivery man.
I love that.
Liz would like, yeah. Liz, I won't admit anything on the internet. The internet's forever.
So is our friendship.
I can't get rid of you now, Hammy. You're here forever.
Although the competition has not ended, have you thought of something for next year, as you have both seen so much growth? Did we not decide we're just going to go again next year because it's a lot more level of a playing field? Yeah.
Correct.
So, yep. Yes. So we're going again.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to add that you're bringing Martin on, so I might have to actually bring a staff member on just to make it an even playing field.
Yeah, but you've known about that for a year now. So, and also...
Yeah, I've been talking to Lauren about how we're going to do it.
Yeah, and I think from what we're busy with at the moment, it'll be a little while before he comes. So it won't be right off the bat in January just because of issues, but yeah. We'll give you some time to figure it out.
All right. You're so kind.
Oh,
we kind of have a threshold of the number of listings we need to be listing and selling to be able to then do that. So
yeah.
I have like a clear path to it. Here we go.
Do you think that the success of your respective businesses is purely attributed to your work ethic, personal drive? Correct. I think work, effort...
Or luck and timing.
I don't believe there's no such thing as luck. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe there's anything called luck. I think everything is influenced by either your own actions or the people who you allow to influence your life. There's no such thing as luck. Everything in life comes down to personal drive, effort, and consequences of actions, whether those are the consequences of your actions or the consequences of other people's actions that you allow into your life.
Yeah. I don't think luck and timing have played a lot of... if anything, timing has been not on my side in business. Timing has been the opposite. I've had things that have popped up at the wrong times, which just didn't help. Like with you this year with your house, like that was the wrong time. Like you didn't need that to happen. I think the number one thing, like genuinely the number one thing, because I don't think motivation is like a personality trait, and I don't think discipline's a personality trait. I think the number one thing that actually helps is just being accountable. Like being accountable to yourself, your family, whatever it is that helps get you moving. Like, do I want to do this every day? No, but that's like my only desire is to just be the best version of myself every day. And my metric for that kind of changes every so often, but if I'm accountable to be the best version of myself, then the success will just come from just being that.
Discipline comes from practice, which is something I learned this year, is that discipline comes from practice. I always thought that people were just born with the knack to be more self-disciplined than others, and that's not true. Discipline comes from practice and from forcing yourself to be consistent and to do something.
I agree. Yeah. And I motivation, like I am never motivated to ever do it. So if you're waiting for motivation to strike, I would suggest that that's not the thing to be hanging your hat on. No. Like that just never happens.
Doesn't happen. No.
No. All right. Liz wants to know if you see yourself forever owning a business.
Do you see yourself ever owning a business that are run outside of eBay? Yes. I don't like eBay. I don't. It relies on me too much. it relies on shipping times, dispatch times. Like, as much as people say eBay is passive, it is only to a certain extent. My biggest goal is to no longer have my business rely on eBay. But in order to do that, I need to do eBay to the max to build the funds to get into other things. So eBay is an ATM to build businesses outside of eBay.
Yeah. And it can be any sort of business. So we have ideas for different businesses outside of eBay that are not even clothing related in the longer term plans. I'm just going to rush through things. Jazz said it was one time.
In terms of the bra. And record it. I want to see.
Right? I would love to see that on the internet. JC Flips wants to know who won the competition. I'm just going to be honest, it's going to be Hanley. I don't think I can actually catch her in the last month. Look at her smug
Sam
smile.
wants to wait until the 1st of January, so we don't know yet.
I want to know. I've accepted that I've lost you, but I want to know what Tom did. That's my thing. The ponderous puffing fish. My partner made the mug. She hand potted it. It's very clever.
That's cute.
I wish I could do stuff like that.
Me too.
I would love to hire Nigel for the year. Cindy, I hear he's actually very good at doing photos to be able to provide the person the ability to be able to list them. She'll know. I'll replace luck with circumstance then.
Yes, I think circumstance does play a role. Could you eat me? Oh. I don't feel like I have the HR skills for that.
I can confirm you probably don't.
No, I feel like I'm going to get sued. I don't know.
Or you just end up doing the work for them.
I know. This is my biggest struggle in life is like, I do the work myself instead of taking time to explain to others how to do it because I could just do it faster, but then I end up having to do it myself forever instead of just taking the time and showing other people how to do it.
That was my biggest downfall in nursing, was I ended up just doing it myself because it was easier. Yeah. Managing people is not easy.
No.
All right. We've got a couple more questions we're going to bang out because we've got 8 minutes left.
Okay.
How do you cut out distractions, Hanley?
This was my biggest downfall last year. It's the reason I didn't make my goals. It's the reason I didn't exceed my goals. I gave into distraction on social media, distraction with people, distraction with just everything. I allowed the world to dictate what part it has in my life instead of me deciding how much of a part I want to have in the world. And that it ended 3 weeks ago when I decided to stop being a part of a lot of things. And I'm going full focus on my business. I do take photos on my phone. That's also going to come to an end. I'm going to buy another phone that has nothing on it except Dropbox and the camera. And I'm just going to upload it to Dropbox like I do now. Because I do find while I take photos, because I have kids, if I get a message from my husband and it rings and I don't know what number it is, I'm much more prone to answer the phone because I don't know if someone's calling about one of my kids or whatever the case is. And that is very distracting to me because a lot of the time it's just like spammers or something. So yes, I am going to get a separate phone.
For me, I have most of my notifications turned off. I find that really helpful. It does mean I'm sometimes very delayed in responding to people, and for that, I'm sorry. But it just makes my life easier to not have anything come through apart from phone calls, text messages, but I'm very restricted about who I give my number to, and eBay notifications. That's the only things I have turned on. I use both a camera and a phone depending on what I'm in the mood for taking photos. I do find that the camera's photos are better though. They're a little bit faster just because you just plug them in. You don't have to worry about a Dropbox or anything like that. We've just got some more clarity on the question about luck or circumstance.
The reason why I ask is that I find a lot of resellers are functioning primarily on luck, finding bolos opposed to... Oh, okay. So this exact thing, I had such a light bulb moment on this, but it actually came from watching one of Tech and Sport's old videos, like old videos in the call. And in the video, he says, everything sellers, right? The reason why everything sellers struggle to scale is because they constantly rely on finding bolos because they're not an expert in any particular niche. And when you constantly have to build your business on finding bolos, you're building a business based on luck. And then that's why you'll never have steady sales or steady growth, because the sales will spike as and when you're able to find the bolos or when you're not. And that made me realize that niching down isn't just about procedures and packaging and storage. It's got to do with building a steady, sustainable business, because you're not constantly out there trying to find the best of 50 million categories. You're trying to build a steady income from one category.
For me, I found that the bolos were just like highs that I was chasing, and if I just replace the high with the high of being able to like get my job done or having steady sales rather than chasing unicorns around town that were very fleeting. Like I run into them more now than I ever have before, but that's because my nuance knowledge of one topic has become so much greater. That's just for me. I couldn't build a business off unknown highs.
That's the thing.
Let me pull up another one. You don't need to worry about the HR side, Hadley.
I'll do it if I can get Liz, because Liz will probably offend me more than I offend her. And that will be fine. Like, we can just...
That's actually true.
Yeah, we can just be in the perpetual circle of offending each other and no one will go to HR. It'll be fine.
Can I be part of those calls? Just like as a background flyer?
Get your own mentoring, I don't know what the word is. Get your own people.
All right. Jazz said she can't imagine having her notifications turned on anymore. Like, let's go. Always got to have them turned off. Let's see if there's any more questions. No, I think that's it. Everyone's just saying hi.
Perfect.
That's it.
Well, I want to say thank you to you, Sam, for doing this with me in the first place. And thank you to everyone who's been listening. The fact that so many people actually listen to what we say just blows my mind. Because at the end of the day, I said to you, I get so much out of talking business with you, and I get so much from this that if nothing else, I'm improving myself and my business. And the fact that so many other people are finding use in it just is like the sugar on top. And I really just wanted to say thank you to everyone and those that participate as well, like who leave comments and who ask questions. And that's really helpful and we really appreciate it. And hopefully next year when we come back, we can have more interaction. We'd love to have calls and have some of you guys on the podcast as well. Like, we're not looking to have just big high audience people, and we want to speak to everyone about their business. If any of you guys want to or would be willing to come on, just reach out to us. We'd love to speak to everyone, any type of business. It doesn't care how big or small it is. We just love to interact with you guys more.
I would love to be able to have more people on the podcast instead of having mentors. Like, we get people on the podcast to be able to discuss their business and ways that they could improve and strategies that they could implement and like what their business would be like or what their goal is and how their business needs to be able to achieve the goal just based on the numbers and stuff like that. Like, I honestly love doing that sort of stuff.
I find that so motivating.
Blown away that anyone listens.
Yeah.
Same.
And on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you for everyone for... and thanks for putting up with the lag.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this happened, but Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's kick some butt next year. get recharged, get refreshed. Remember your family's priority. Put as much time into them as you do your business, because they're the ones that actually have to live with you. And thank you so much.
Thanks for coming by. See you in season 2. Thanks, guys. Bye. Have a good night.